Moving to our next story. A South Korean ferry carrying over 200 people ran aground on rocks off the country's southwest coast on Wednesday. The grounding has revived memories of the deadly 2014 seawall ferry disaster. The ferry is named Queen Genovia II and it weighs 26,000 tons. It has a capacity of over 1,000 passengers with multiple decks for vehicles. According to the Coast Guard, the ferry struck a rocky outcrop in shallow waters less than an hour before its scheduled arrival. The impact left the vessel stuck in the water while making its route across the Yellow Sea. And at least 27 people sustained minor injuries from the impact. The ferry was traveling from Jeju Island to the port city of Mokpo. According to officials, it was last sailing at about 26 miles per hour before it hit the rocks. The Coast Guard said the ferry was an autopilot in the area, and by the time it approached the rock, it was 2 to 3 minutes late to avoid the collision. The chief investigator said the captain in his 60s and 2 officers in their 40s were charged with injury by gross negligence, a crime carrying up to 5 years in prison. Authorities said the ferry's operator and crew members were also under scrutiny, and investigators were examining cell phones, data recorders, and security footage.
Regarding a passenger ship ran aground, we mobilized all available Coast Guard resources and, with cooperation from multiple agencies, we rescued all passengers. The rescued passengers are arriving at Mokpo port and, after being examined by medical team, they will move to their accommodations. As for the cause of the accident, further investigation is required. However, at this time, we preliminarily assess it to be due to negligence by the captain or the navigating officer.
All 267 people on board have now been rescued, and about 20 vessels and a plane had to be mobilized for the mission, and the vessel has now returned to port. Passengers described the grounding as a near-death experience, saying the force of the impact caused panic before the rescue began.
When I heard the vessel had ran aground onto the island, I actually felt somewhat relieved, thinking at least we would not be thrown into the water. I thought I might die. The sound was too loud. It sounded like a big accident. But having seen the seawall ferry, I knew that in situations like this, you have to stay calm, move outside, wear a life jacket, and wait. It seems like a lot of people did the same.
This incident revived memories of the 2014 seawall ferry disaster that sent shockwaves in South Korea. More than 300 people died, with most of them being school students. The tragedy led to years of public outrage and major maritime safety reforms in the country. Investigators are now analyzing navigation data, crew actions, and electronic recordings to determine how a routine journey from Jeju to Mokpo ended in a collision with rocks. With all passengers safe, the focus has shifted to accountability and whether safety lessons learned after the seawall disaster were fully implemented.
I was a revolutionary. I became a ruler. I claimed to protect my people. I terrorized them instead. I built palaces. I started wars. I lost everything. Some called me a defender of Arab pride. History remembers me as a dictator. Who am I?